What the freak? Okay. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This your boy Amber Wolf, and I'm back. No, I'm playing. Yo, y'all want to see the fake it? Y'all want to see something funny? I shaved too. Look at that. Ah! Watch this. Oh, hey. What's going on? Didn't see you there. See? It's fake. I had seen a YouTuber do this one time, and I was like, how did the camera get over there? They run up, and then yo, that mess is so fake. Okay, now I realized why people are feeling like YouTube channels are carbon copies of carbon copies, because everybody's doing the same dang thing. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I hope your day's been going well today. I might seem a little extra crazy and jovial, and that's not a weird magic sign or anything, but I might be seeming a little extra crazy and jovial, and I'm not for any particular reason. It's just crazy. So I went into work today. I got up early. I went into work today, knowing that no one was going to be there. In the establishment that I work at, I knew no one was going to be there. Literally no one. No one. So, surprisingly enough, my big boss came in, which he's been gone for about a week. And he comes in, he's like, where's everybody at? And I'm like, oh, well, everybody's off for the holidays. And he's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And he kind of reminds me of Jonah Jameson. Actually, he like totally reminds me of Jonah Jameson. He kind of thought, this is freaking so funny. Hands down, my most favorite boss of all time. Best boss I ever had. Like, this man really understands what it means to grow. And he's done this for like over, oh man, he's going to be like almost 30 years. All right. This is how he kind of is. He kind of comes in and he's like, hey, how's it going? Are you serious? And if you tell him something, like I troll him a lot. I love him to death. He does the finger guns. So he'll come into my shop and he'll ask me, he's like, so what's everybody working on? He does the finger gun. So when I walk in, I'm a big troll. I do it to him. I'm like, hit him with little finger guns, and he's like, oh, that's it. I'm not doing that anymore. No. You guys make fun of me. No. I love it, man. He really, he's a very serious guy, but I can honestly say I'm one of the few people that make him smile almost every day. But yeah, he comes in. We do nothing for hours. It's probably about 4 of us. It's usually about 20, 30. And there's only about 4 of us in there. And man, I just kind of thought about the simple fact that I'm sitting here at work when I could, 1, be recording this video. 2, I could be spending all of my wonderful, precious energy and time with my family. I'm not doing that either. I'm just sitting in an office with nothing going on. So what did I do? Well, I started scrolling. And not doom scrolling or anything, but I started scrolling on, I had hopped on a Twitter, and I realized I'm wasting my time on Twitter because I have nothing to do at work. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a cert guy. I don't think I told you guys what I do, cybersecurity. I'm a cert guy. I really do. I like the certs and all that jazz, and I'm studying for one right now, but I just haven't had the drive. I've studied for months and months, and now I'm just like, but this is just a means to an end, right? So I was conscious. I stopped what I was doing, and I was like, I need to dedicate this time I have right now, when we have nothing going on, to bettering myself. So I thought to myself, how can I break this cycle of me going to this 9 to 5 every day, which I do not, I love the work I do. I love connecting with people. But I do not love going to work from 9 to 5 and just kind of feeling like my job is not benefiting mankind or society or anyone at all, right? Me sharing experiences with you guys, I love to hear your experiences too. If you guys have YouTube channels, please link them so I can see them, and then I can check them out, like them, leave comments and what have you. And thank you to those of you who have left comments on the videos. And I put up a silly little poll. Like I got subscribers or something. Like somebody could be like, hey, oh my gosh, this guy's great. I don't think you guys don't think I'm great or whatever. It's not a big deal. I just doing this to connect with people, man. It's just too much fun. And it doesn't take so much out of my day, right? But anyways, so I decided that I was going to look into investment opportunities outside of my wheelhouse that would provide. And I wound up looking at these RV resorts here, where I live in Arizona. And just so happens there's not an RV, but kind of a mobile home house, like a house. I don't think it could be picked up. Maybe it can, but basically it's for sale. They just remodeled the inside, and I'm sitting here like, yo, we can afford this. We can afford this. So before making any rash decisions, of course, I like to consult with my mentors, my wife. Say, hey, man, what are we thinking about this? This is my plan. What do you think about it? And we kind of both were on the same page that we should probably pull the trigger on it and go ahead and purchase it, like outright. Purchase it outright and then rent it out. And the goal is to try to rent it out so that's affordable after we furnish it, so that's affordable for people to live in. I'm a firm believer that the more you get and like the more you have, the more you should give away. And I know that sounds kind of weird and silly because I do know people who have worked their whole lives and they say they've put into the world. Working doesn't mean you're putting into anything. Working means you're doing a job. Let me not say 9 to 5. You're doing a job and then you're going home. Like I've been blessed for real. The positions I've had, I've always been, for the most part, the youngest guy with the least amount of experience, but given great responsibility because I put into people. People come in and say, oh, there's something wrong with this, that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what's up? Like, how can I help? And I slow them down. I'm like, hey, how's your day, man? First off, how's your day? And it's just like, oh man, well, got all this, that, and the third going on. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm not being disingenuous, but I am slowing them down so that they can like kind of find out why they're in such a tense, anxietal state, right? This mess is like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I don't even want to get into it. That's not why you're here. You're not here for this. You're here to have a good time and to learn something about yourself, right? All right, cool. So, yeah, I don't know. I was just some thoughts today. We're looking to invest in this property with just do the best we can, provide some generational wealth because like I didn't grow up with that, and my parents did the best that they could for the situation that they were in. And I think just removing us out of the place that we were in really set us on a good path. I was a big reader. I was a big nerd growing up. So, yeah, I really was into the books and learning how to learn. And learning how to learn is one of the most awesome tools I've learned in my life. I mean, how have you guys learned? Are you guys big learners? I don't know. Anyways, I'm kind of just rambling in this video. Just thought I'd make a little quick video. Boy, shaved though, didn't he? Yeah. You guys ever joined a cult before? So, I'm going to try not to give anybody vertigo this time. But I was kind of just thinking about the simple fact of if I've ever joined a cult, right? If I've ever been stripped and devoid of my own free thinking and decided to just go with whatever the mass was was saying, right? And I realized very early on in life that I was weird and considered very weird because I decided not to follow a cult, right? Or join a cult initially. But we all get conditioned. I was big into reading books, so the majority of my life, I would say majority of my life, I still read to this day. I'm a big nerd. But they're watching Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in there. But one of the biggest things that I realized was that I wasn't a part of the cult until there was a need and a necessity. Financial need and necessity, right? And let me explain what I mean. So as a kid, even though my parents raised me in a Christian church, non-denominational Christian church, I was aware that there were some things going on that just didn't seem right. And I know it kind of sounds weird. You were just a kid. What do you know, right? But at the same time, it's innate. When somebody tells you to do something and they're doing the exact opposite, I believe that's a cult. I could be wrong. It's just my own opinion. But if somebody tells you to do something, convinces you to do it, and then does the exact opposite, and you're still doing that thing they told you, that sounds like a cult to me. I used to read a lot of fantasy novels. Obviously, guys could probably tell I'm not your your standard issue, what you expect to be standard issue black kid from Baltimore. But early on, I used to get made fun of for the way that I spoke, the fact that I don't know, I guess I stood up straight, pants were around my waist, and it caused some problems for me growing up. And I don't want to say that I'm glad that bullying existed, but it truly made me like a duck. Like water just rolled off my back, right? And yeah, I did fight back. I got jumped a lot. It was pretty funny. But I did fight back because my dad started putting me into martial arts at a very young age, which taught me discipline and taught me to kind of, dang, that's a loud rooster. But it taught me discipline and it taught me to think for myself. One of my lifelong goals is to deprogram my mind, is to raise our children with morals of some sort, right? But also not to strip them of their freedom or break their spirit. And what I mean by that is, I love discipline. I think discipline's phenomenal, but I also think unchecked discipline, like unchecked discipline from a parent to a child, can break their spirit, right? So they follow you out of fear instead of following you out of you being a good leader. And that's one of the things I've been learning as a parent. You know, you kind of only get one shot at this thing, and I'm not going to ever get an award for being a parent. I'm not asking for one. I don't even want one, but I want to be in my kids' life for the rest of their life. Something we've been dealing with lately, unfortunately, with my brothers and I have been dealing with a family member, and it's been a struggle. You know, it really has been, to realize the level of cult mindset that can even be in a family. Oh, I'm your this, that, and the other, so you have to do this, right? I'm your this, so you have to do this. There's going to come a time where my kids are just not going to listen to me for anything. And I need to be willing to let them go and make their own decisions, but still remain near enough. And hopefully what we've taught them it will carry them through life, right? The lessons we've instilled, the times they've seen their mom and I go back and forth and then stop and be like, hey, mom and dad are having a disagreement right now. Disagreements don't have to end in fights or screaming and arguing, we can disagree so civilly, it's not even funny. And my wife and I, we disagree so often, it's not even funny. But are we screaming, raising voices? Am I calling her names? Is she calling me names? Is she calling me outside my name, treating me disrespectfully in front of our kids? No, not at all whatsoever. And that's such a blessing. So back to the cult mindset, because I'm kind of trailing off. All I'm trying to say is, think for yourself, right? Even the stuff I'm saying right now, which just sound kind of wacky, just think for yourself. I'm learning this right now. So many realizations. It feels so nice to say them out loud. I usually write them down, but just speaking them to a video, I hope this resonates with someone, because I'm totally I feel like every day is a journey. No, I know every day is a step forward in the journey, but I feel kind of blessed to be able to have these introspective moments to my very, very, very long days. This is therapeutic, talking to this camera. It sounds silly, 100+ years ago, or maybe they did have phones back then and we just don't know about it, ancient civilizations and all that, but 100+ years ago, I mean, they probably would have just called me a witch. But I've got a phone in my hand and I'm talking to it as a therapeutic device for getting my thoughts out, right? And putting them onto video as opposed to paper. Still do that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys about having a cult mindset. I didn't want to get too deep into it. I'm not trying to say left-right paradigm stuff. I'm not really into all that. I don't really believe in that. I do think that's a construct. But it's really cool to realize that you've been programmed, because that's the first step of realizing how to deprogram yourself. And I am so, when it comes to money, when it comes to health, I'm about to do a couple weeks of some fruitarian stuff for one of our children and myself, because they have a skin rash, right? And we're going to try to see if by changing her diet for a few weeks, then only for a few weeks, everybody calm down, if that gets rid of it. But it's back to the cult mindset, right? You got to eat your grains. You got to make sure that you're stay away from fat. Fat's bad for you. Now we've learned in the last few years, oh, wait a minute. Actually, your brain needs healthy fats. And I'm not here to give you nutritional advice either. It's about the mindset, right? Of us taking our minds back, thinking critically, and adding to the world. Because I might have these ideas, and there could be somebody on the internet that looks exactly like me that has completely different ideas, but has some nuggets in there. You know what I mean? Taking the nuggets, but not allowing the whole movement to program you. I don't know if I'm making any sense. If I am, though, drop a comment, please. Drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Wolf signing out. Peace.